Hey, Dan here, and we have a question from an INFJ about having to sell yourself and should you basically enter a career or build a business where you have to sell or promote yourself? And the short answer is yes, but I'm going to explain why you should and how you should do it. I'm an INFJ. All my life I've been very active through dancing and the arts. I've always had an interest for health and wellness and have been contemplating a career change to personal training. I'm not sure about it sometimes because I tend to come off as very soft spoken, but I believe I'm good at connecting with people one on one. I know as a trainer you have to sell yourself to build clients. What are your thoughts on this as a career? Okay, this is a great question because I think a lot of people hold themselves back from pursuing the career or business they really want because they're worried about one small aspect of that. And one of the most common, if not the most common aspect of that is having to sell yourself. First of all, I have a great, I like to think great, 20-minute video on selling as an introvert or as someone who doesn't like to pressure others. And I would highly encourage you to watch that video. I walk you through the actual strategy of selling if you don't want to hard sell. And it's actually more effective than hard selling. And that brings me to my point here is that your traditional image of like a personal trainer or a gym salesman, like, hey bro, 20 sessions, 2-year contract, I'll give you a good price. That doesn't, well, it does work, but that is not the best way to sell. It is not the most effective way, and more is it's becoming like dated and people are very aware of that. And so if you think of the traditional salesperson, like the gym owner or the used car salesman or whatever, that is not what good sales is. Good sales is about connecting with people. It's about perhaps being quiet, soft-spoken, listening to them, learning about your client, and figuring out how you can help them with that really good connection. And so the way that would work as like a personal trainer is you'd organize meetings with people, however they come to you, whether it's through a gym, through your website, something like that. And you would ask them questions about their goals. You would learn about what they're trying to achieve. You might occasionally share stories of your past clients or offer a little insight, but primarily you would just listen to them and take notes, learn about what they're trying to do. And then from there, you would eventually put forward like a proposal or your thoughts on working together. And that is going to be a lot more effective than putting pressure on someone. Imagine this, right? You are your own future client, right? So you're going and looking at gyms and personal trainers, and you go to a place and they come up to you and they're just like, hey, you're trying to get buff, right? Okay, cool. Let me tell you about the weights. And the truth is you're not trying to get buff. You have some back pain and you've been trying to learn about flexibility and all that, not build muscle. But they don't listen, right? They show you all the weights, they show you all the equipment, they tell you about like how late they're open, but you don't really care because you're an early morning person. And then at the end of this conversation, they just say, all right, here's like a 12-month contract, sign here, like let's do it. How keen are you going to be on that, right? Now, some people will join because they wanted a gym anyhow, or they just don't like saying no. They have trouble with pressure, right? Unfortunately, but that's your first experience. Now, imagine you go in another gym and they sit down and they say, hey, like, when are you thinking of working out? What are the best hours for you? And they, you tell them mornings and they say, great, we're open at this time in the morning, blah, blah, blah. What are you trying to achieve? Why are you coming here? And you tell them about your back, and then they show you the stretching area and they talk about their own experience, stretching and the different exercises you do working together with them as your trainer and all this. What person are you more likely to sign up with, right? Of course, it's the person who listens to you, who gets to know you, that you're going to actually want to work with. And so all that is my way of saying, do not let sales or promotion hold you back in terms of a business. There are many different strategies in my free freelancer program. We teach 3 different marketing techniques or like big picture strategies. Each of those have like a dozen strategies in them, but 3 different approaches that involve no promotion basically in terms of old-fashioned hard promotion. And the selling technique that I mentioned, I go through in the other video, requires very little, if any, kind of pushy or aggressive sales. It's all about listening and asking questions. And then occasionally, like at the end, you do have to say, hey, so do you want to hire me? But that's not too hard to do at that point, right? I'm sure you can manage that. So definitely pursue this career. If you have an interest in the topic and you think you'd be great at it, do not worry about the sales aspect. That will be no problem at all. Thanks for watching this. If you have your own question you want to send in, head over to Dreams Around the World and click on the Ask Dan button, and you can send a question in through that way. Thanks for watching. Catch you in another video soon.